I thought we was already rolling. All right. No sweat. All right. So the question you asked was what?
Okay, but my question, I get that we're not going to be exactly the same as far as physically. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to figure out, because I know all of Israel will be saved.
That's right.
So this is my thing, though. How is it that the ones that are least in the kingdom, right? Obviously, they're not going to be, how can I put it? They're not going to be the ones that's going to be born from parents who are the 1/3. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because for me to be least, I can't be coming from the 1/3.
Why not?
I don't have to, how can I be least if I got parents that made it on the earth when Yahweh Shai came? You know what I'm saying? Because how would I be least if I'm born from those parents?
Okay. All right. Have you ever, like, in the kingdom we live in right now, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Have you ever, like James Brown's kids? James Brown, you familiar with James Brown? You know who that is? I know you.
I know James Brown,
all right.
but I don't know. I'm not too familiar with his kids. No.
All right. Well, when James Brown died, he vowed that he wouldn't give his kids nothing. They would have to make their own way. What's going on? They would have to make their own way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so temporarily they living good until their daddy died.
You can say it that way. No, you can say it that way. But just because you got, okay, all right, I get what you're saying. So check this. Just because, let's say if I earn my way into the kingdom and I'm serving under Christ and I'm in rulership or whatever the case may be, right? Let's say since this my metaphor, I got 40 wives. Salakia. Since this is my metaphor, right? And some of my wives have this many kids and some have that many kids or whatever the case may be, right? Hold on 1 second. This ain't right. Slack you 1 second. I'm trying to get this YouTube up and running. All right. Okay. Everybody, my heir to the throne is my heir to the throne. That's who it is. You understand? So he's going to be in a position of rulership to take the inheritance, and then everybody else got to get what they can get. What you got to understand is we're building a nation of people. So if you come from King David ruled, right? And the throne went to his sons and his sons and his sons. But how many other sons did he have besides Solomon? David had other kids besides Solomon, right? They didn't reign and rule over Israel. Solomon reigned and ruled over Israel because Solomon had the inheritance. You understand that, right?
Well, but I still thought even if he had the firstborn, let's say he had 10 sons,
right?
Even if one was gonna get the inheritance, that don't mean the other 9 gonna starve.
You're right. But at the same time, who's controlling who gets what? Is it him?
No.
Who's controlling who gets what?
The first one.
Who's controlling who gets what?
Oh. I'm sorry, the Father.
The Most High.
Wait.
The Most High controls who gets what. It's no different than Israel. No, it's no different than Jacob and Esau. They came from the same father and mother, right? It's no different than Ham, Shem, and Japheth, Noah's sons. They all came from the same father. But Shem went down and his lineage went to Israel. It's no different than, whoever. People don't like to admit it. Most people got a favorite child.
Well, I'll admit it.
I know you in the truth.
That I was fighting people at my job. No, there's no such thing as a favorite. But they ain't want to listen.
Yeah, I know. Nobody want to hear the truth, sis. But here's the point I'm trying to make. if we are creating our own nation up under Christ and serving up under Christ, everybody don't get to rule. Everybody don't get to partake in everything. And when it says at least in the kingdom of heaven, you still over the other nations. They still are over the other nations. They just ain't in a position of rulership. The 1/3 is preparing for the 144,000 that's going to be the government that governs and rules under Christ. You understand that, right? The 144,000 is the ones that's going to rule in the government, but there was a number that you couldn't even number. Now, let's say if it's a number that you couldn't even number, does everybody have the same rank? Does everybody have the authority? Does everybody get? No. Some of them are greater, men of renown, great men. Some of them are the least in the kingdom. The Lord is all about rank and order. Everything is about structure. There is no equality when it comes to the Most High. None. We ain't equal to all the other heathens on the planet. My woman ain't equal to me. Your children ain't equal to you. You may raise up your son. What's your son's name? Dawada?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. That's it. Daniel Allah. You may raise up Daniel and he might become a mighty man and be renowned, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just like Mary raised up Christ. You all right? Just like Mary raised up Christ. You understand? She ain't Christ. She don't deserve the Hail Mary. We not hailing Mary around here.
Okay, well, this is my next question.
Hold on. Wait,
Sorry,
1 second.
sorry.
You got.
Sorry.
Do you have your first question answered?
Yes, I have my first question answered, which is a two-part. Now that you say what you said, okay, I asked that because I was trying to figure out, just in case, I'm trying to look for loopholes just in case I didn't make it as the 1/3.
No, all you got to do is stay in this body and you'll make it. Don't worry about it. And we all gonna die. Okay. We all gonna die someday anyway.
I know. I said to myself, in worst case scenario, I'm not the 1/3. I'm trying to figure out when I come in.
You come in as a sister. You come in as a sister in the truth that comes in and does your job and serves the Most High, and other sisters can look at it and say, this is the representation of how you should serve the Most High, and the Lord blesses you, and that's how it is. That's all it is. Like, no matter what work I do in this lifetime, at the end of the day, the everlasting life comes through my seed. The everlasting life comes through the lineage I leave behind, the things that I do, the brothers that I help get in the truth that's going to outlive me. When the brothers that started the truth back in 1969, when they died, when they fall off, when all these brothers come, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai ain't here no more, but his legacy lives for the men that he went out and taught how to teach other men, how to serve the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? And your legacy comes in you being able to serve a man, and that man creating a lineage, or you raising up your son in a way that he understands who the Most High is, and then him creating a lineage, or so on and so forth. Everybody got positions. Nobody's position is no more than anybody else's. But you gotta understand that they're not the same. You know what I'm saying? I have the responsibility of raising up Jacksonville, right? That's my responsibility. Officer Shawar has the responsibility of raising up Florida, which includes Jacksonville, but we don't have the same responsibility. Now, as long as I do my job with what in front of me was Jacksonville, then I'm doing my job. The Lord ain't called me to do anything else but my job. And what we have to understand is if we just do our job and play our part, everything will be too wild. The problem is nobody want to do their job. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be, you know what I'm saying, all this and all of that. This thing on? We working? I can't get the joint straight. All right, Most High Christ. I'm trying to get the joint up on Facebook so I can go ahead with the topic.
Oh, okay.
What's your second question, sis? Or did you already ask it?
Yeah, as you said about the children, rank in order. I know they say the same thing with wives. There's no such thing as a first, second, or third wife, especially when a man has more than one.
Who said that?
Is it Tupac?
Who said that? I got a favorite wife.
I heard that in class. There's no such thing as 1, 2, 3.
I got a favorite wife.
As far as inheritance, meaning
Salakia. I got a favorite wife.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
I meant, okay, yeah. You have of course, every man's gonna have a favorite something.
Salakia, I was just saying.
I said every man. I know a man will always favor one woman, no matter how many he got. He gonna favor one.
Okay, go ahead. Let me get you back on track. Salakia, sis, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying was, okay, as far as being least in the kingdom, when you say as far as children, when you're born into parents, just because, you may not always have the same as the other children. As far as wives, again, being least in the kingdom, is it possible that a wives can share the same husband, but one is not as well off as the other? I mean, you're taking care of the others, but like you said, just like children got to fend for themselves, will it be the same thing for wives?
Yes. Even you get that even in the when it talks about Abraham, right? Abraham had 2 wives. He had Hagar and Sarah, and the Lord told him to make sure Hagar's straight. You know what I'm saying? He gave her a bag or whatever the case may be, and sent her on her way about her business. He made sure she was taken care of, but she did not get to stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want you to stand up for a second. Yeah, she didn't have the same thing. When you go to David's wives, you have some men that had wives and concubines, meaning some of them just kept women. They was kept women. They wasn't even his wife. He just kept them in case he wanted them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, everything is about difference in rank and order and structure. Everybody wants things to be equal. There is no equality when it comes to the Lord. There are mighty men and there are weak men. There are bad sisters and there are great sisters. There are good wives and there are bad wives. There are good children and bad children. There are people that's on this earth that's blessed, and there are people on this earth that's cursed. What you try to do is provoke the Most High with your obedience. And you hope that he has some mercy, because even Job, he was obedient and he still had to go through curses. Christ, he was obedient and he still had to go through death and curses and all type of punishment, even though he ain't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So the main thing I can tell you is don't really worry about it too much. What you do is you do your best to serve the Most High. Give me Romans chapter 9 and 16. We just read it yesterday. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And then we're going to move on. Anybody else got a question while we go into that? Go ahead.
I have a question on Leviticus 19:28.
Leviticus 19 and 28. All right. What's the question?
It's in the scripture when it says for the dead.
I ain't hear nothing but a bell.
If when in the scripture it says for the dead.
Yeah.
I want to know what it says in the scripture when it says.
Okay. One of the customs in Egypt. Let me go ahead and read it, and then I'll break it down. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I close out the sister's joint. Somebody got Romans 9 and 16? Go ahead. Nice and strong.
Romans chapter 9, verse 16.
Y'all can hear it, brother? Go ahead.
So then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
It's not of him that's willing. It's not of him that's running, but it's God that shows mercy. The 1/3 you was talking about, it ain't because they so great. that they're going to be saved, it's because the Lord put his spirit on them and they followed the Lord's spirit and he had mercy on them to save them. All right. So when you come back or whatever the case may be, you born, considering what you're going through, the Lord may have mercy on you, or you might, but what he's saying is that same spirit that was on them brothers that's preaching and all of that now, that's the same spirit they're going to come back into the kingdom with. So they're going to be least in the kingdom of heaven, because the things that they're going to do because of their spirit are not going to be those things that please the Lord. And when Yahushua is reigning, he's not going to have it any other way. All right. So that's the best way for me to answer that. I got to move on. Hopefully I answered your question.
Answer.
All right. Most High in Christ. Now let's go to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Go ahead and read it out. Keith, take me off. You need somebody else to read? All right, go ahead.
You shall not round the corners of your head. Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. Verse 28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Most High.
All right, so what this is talking about, first of all, on verse 27, not rounding the corners of your head, nor marring the corners of your beard. This is talking about something that they used to do in Egypt. If you look at all the old Egyptians, they had this pin strap, tape up, line up, like it looked like a chin strap, how they did it in Egypt. The Lord was telling us not to be like them, not to do what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? We do it here in America all the time. We get the same chin strap line up that we had in Egypt, trying to be like the Egyptians, where the Lord wanted us to grow out our beard. The Lord didn't want us to, and like at the top of your head, if you got the V up there for your tape up, that's how the Lord wanted it. He don't want you to bald anything that's on your head. Now you could cut it low. You could try to hide it. You could camouflage it, but you're not supposed to mark or change the structure of where your hair stop at and different things like that. That's what he's talking about in verse number 27. Even on your beard, the corners of your beard too. Now, verse 28, you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. Another thing that it was good, if you ever seen any Africans, they had them marks that they put on them. It's different cultures around where, you know what I'm saying, they would do it. Esau is tattoos. That's the easiest way to explain it. You're making a cut in there. How many people you know got, you know, they daddy tattooed or they son name or them or whatever the case may be tattooed on their body? When it's talking about for the dead, it was talking about what was going on at that time. They would make markings in their flesh to represent their ancestors and all of this other stuff, which was not our culture. It's not Israelite culture to do that. It's African culture, and some of the African tribes did that. But remember when the Lord said, when I give you this land, don't go in there and do what the rest of those people are doing that's in the land. It's a reason why I'm giving it to you. I want you to be set apart. I want you to be holy. I don't want you to be like that. So if you're asking what the cuttings in the flesh in modern day, that'll be like a tattoo. That'll be like a branding that you would get, like if you join a fraternity or something like that. Anything like that is basically making cuttings and marks into your flesh to represent an idol or a person or something like that. I remember all my life, I said, when I get grown, I'm gonna get the praying hands tattooed on me. Y'all done seen people with the praying hands tattooed on them, right? And I thought that would be righteous and upright, something good to get. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized that the Lord said we weren't supposed to get tattoos at all. We wasn't supposed to cut nothing. When I lost my daughter, I said I was going to get my daughter name tattooed on me. And then I came in the truth and realized that we wasn't supposed to do that. So making the image for the cutting in my flesh for the dead would have been like me going and getting my daughter or my grandma or my granddaddy that I looked up to that raised me, that was I thought was a good man, getting his name or his birth date or his death date or anything like that tattooed on my body. That's what it's talking about. All right.
I know about that. It was that part about that
Most High Christ. All right, anybody else got any questions?
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. Anybody else got any questions? All right, never mind. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I was watching one Angry Black Man,
Yeah.
and they were talking about, because I've seen it before, how black men are going into this specialist that can actually cover their baldness. Would that still apply as, like, when you say you have the V, but they're not cutting it, but they're putting a piece of hair over it
You know,
to make it look more like the...
let me give you an example of what you're saying right now.
Okay.
It's customary in the UPK, like I'll say, my woman's money is my money, right? She get paid, that's my money, right? So you get sisters that'll be like, well, where does it say in the Bible that you got to give your husband your paycheck? The word paycheck ain't in the Bible. Everything is spiritual. I'm sure every man that's going bald would love to have that nice crisp. Even LeBron James, when they got him a nice little tape up, he got, you know what I'm saying, hair club for men, whatever the case may be. It's operating in the wrong spirit if you're trying to do it for the sake of trying to be like another nation. Now, for cosmetic purposes, I guess it would be no different than getting a weave or a sew-in or something like that, putting on some makeup or whatever the case may be. So I don't think that fits as far as this particular thing. That they wasn't doing that at the time. That's not what the Lord was saying. What he was predominantly talking about was in Egypt, where they would mar and bald, they would cut their hair bald and doing all of that. It's more so for us not to be like the heathens. It's the spirit behind it, more so than you can't make yourself look good or whatever the case may be. So I would say if there's a brother in here that was thinking about doing that, seek counsel, get counsel before you do it. But it's not that's not necessarily what this is talking about. All right. All right. So now, for everybody on YouTube, everybody in the class, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. All right. We are now in the Commanding General Yahala. I am Kazak Tamar, ISUPK, Jacksonville, Florida. We're here at the Brentwood Library until 8 o'clock. Then we're going to take a break and continue the class on the conference line. The number is 305-985-5453, if I'm not mistaken. 385-985-5453. If you're on the YouTube, you have questions, go ahead and call in. And once we finish up here on the YouTube at 8 o'clock, that's what we're gonna do. All right, I want to go into my topic. We've been skipping around this topic for a minute. Every time I say I'm gonna bring it out, brothers and sisters have a whole bunch of questions, and I don't never get to it. So it's been a while since I taught this topic, and I want to go ahead and get it out. It might not take up the whole class, but before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about the class we in. This is the Truth 101. Like I said, I'm Preaching Officer Kazak Tamar. Somebody give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. This class used to be called the milk class, where you come in and you learn the basics of what we teach here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You want to get the basics. First thing you need to know is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the children of God. They are the real Jews, and all the people that's in the Bible that did anything great was Black people. From Moses, to Christ, to Paul, to Daniel, to David, all of these people were Black men. Ezekiel, all of them. So when you see a picture on the wall of some white man that they telling you is Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew, just know that it doesn't say that in the Bible. Go ahead.
God. First book of Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 2. I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
This is Paul talking to the Israelites in Corinth. He said, I have fed you with milk and not with meat. Now, is Paul talking about food right now? Anybody know what Paul talking about? He's not talking about food. What is Paul talking about?
Shalakia.
Go ahead.
Spiritual food. Teaching them the
The
precepts.
brother said Paul is talking about spiritual food. Remember Christ said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that cometh out of the mouth of the Most High. This is what Paul is talking about right here. He said, I fed you with milk and not meat. Read it again now.
I don't know what God. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto you were not able to bear it. Neither yet now are ye able.
All right. So Paul was telling them, man, from this point up until now, what I've done is I fed you with the milk. Paul came and gave the brothers and sisters the basics. They didn't know who Christ was. They didn't know who the Israelites was. They didn't know that even though we live in America and call ourselves African American and Haitian and Dominican and Puerto Rican and Jamaican, that we all the children of Israel, different tribes of the children of Israel. We didn't know that. After Christ came to bring back the kingdom under one banner. Remember, you had the 10 lost tribes that separated, 9.5 went this way, the other 3.5 stayed, and they were called Judah. Well, the other 10.5 tribes are our brothers and sisters as well. And eventually they made their way over to Americas and all this. And this is what Paul did. He went around the earth teaching these brothers and sisters to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. This Bible applies to you too. Well, I'm doing the same thing. And up until this time, you know how everybody want to be all deep when you go to church and say something profound and all of that. First thing niggas need to know is stop smoking weed, stop eating shrimp, crab, lobster, stop sleeping with other people, old lady. If you're a woman, stop sleeping with 10 different dudes. Stop killing each other. Stop stealing. These are the things, the first principles of the oracles of God that we need to come back to that's going to fix our community, right? This is what we need. Everybody want to learn something and have all the deepest questions, but this main stuff that we need that'll help fix our community right now. If brothers just stop selling dope. If brothers just stop sleeping with another man's wife. If brothers just stop, you know what I'm saying, robbing brothers and doing all kind of other things, man. All of this is right here in the instructions in the Bible. But because it's been taught to us by the white man, because it's been taught to us through our pastor who learned in seminary school and theologian school the Bible, as opposed to looking at it as the history of our ancestors, then now we don't know how to take it and use it. So what we do here on Monday nights is we go back to the beginning. And I do like Paul. He said, I fed you with milk instead of meat. The meat is all of the deep things. It's like when you once you got the milk, when you a baby and you first born, you can't digest steak. You can't eat roast. You can't do nothing with, you know what I'm saying, curry chicken or whatever the case may be. What you need is the basics to keep you alive. And that's what we do here. I'm gonna give you the basics. You can run with it, and then you can go and learn more of this truth. And as you continue to get stronger, then now you can go and understand what the questions brothers have in General Muhammad's class and all of this other stuff. Everybody get it, right? Everybody on the line, get me? Y'all hear me? All right, cool. Now that we got that, that's what we here for. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about a major topic in the Black community. Something we all do or did. Maybe not all of us. I know I did. Something that's a pastime that we don't look at as it's as serious as it is, and it's smoking, right? Smoking is a key, and it's one of the hardest things for a brother to break when he comes into the truth. Some sisters too. And we got to really understand what it means. Whenever you set something on fire, right? Whenever you set something on fire, what you're doing is you are offering up an offering to a deity. You are offering an offering to a God. Now, back when I was calling myself a Rastafarian, give me Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. Right? They used to use this scripture to say, the Lord made the herb for us. The Lord made the weed for us. Well, that's absolutely correct. He did. But it has its purpose just like anything else. The Lord made women for man, but she has her purpose. And if you're not using it according to its purpose, then it's a sin. Then you're not using it right. It's no different than if you go to the doctor, you just got in an accident, he give you pain pills, you prescribed to take them, there's nothing wrong with it. It's to help fix you. Now, if you're just taking them just to get high, that's not what they're for. Everybody up following me, right? Y'all don't get quiet on me tonight. Don't fall out the truth tonight. Don't fall out the truth tonight if I start talking about your beloved weed, your sweet, sweet Chiva. All right, stay with me. Go ahead. You got it?
Oh, my God.
Let's go.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. And the power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed.
There it is right there. No, you know your weed got seeds in it. That's what it say right there, right? I have given you every herb bearing seed. Go ahead.
Which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree.
See, the Lord gave you them trees. This in the Bible, right? Go ahead.
In the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
It shall be for what?
For meat.
For smoking.
For meat.
For blunts.
For meat.
For vaporizing.
For meat.
For meat. Meat. Right? So here's the point. Weed, just like every other herb that the Lord gave you, has its purpose. It can be healthy. It can be for medicinal purposes and all of that. But it was never supposed to be lit on fire and inhaled and smoked. If this is a herb that you need, it shall be given to you for what?
For meat.
For meat. Smoking, however, is a sin. Let's go ahead and finish it out and get to the next one before I jump the gun.
Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat.
He said it twice. So nice. He had to say it twice. What did it say?
And it was so.
And it was so. Bottom line, herbs are for food and medicinal purposes, to eat, not to smoke. Everybody follow me so far? All right. So what is smoke for? What is smoke for? What Israelites use smoke for? Come on, man, so they can hear you. Hold on, let me see if somebody on the line get it. Go ahead.
They would use it as a burnt offering.
As a offering, a burnt offering, right? So they would have two types of burnt offerings. One is a sacrifice. A sacrifice, meaning it's meat, right? You throw the sacrifice on there, you burn it. The other one is as an incense. That's going to be a herb or a plant. Sacrifice if it's meat, incense if it's a herb or a plant. Y'all follow me, right? Everybody understand? Let's get some examples of that. Give me Genesis chapter 8, verse 20. I want to run through these now. Y'all keep up with me. Go ahead.
Book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 20. And Noah built an altar unto the Most High, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
So this all the way back in the times of Noah. First thing he did, you know what I'm saying, is over with, is he took the clean beast. This tells you that there was already a law. He knew what animals was clean and what was unclean before Moses, right? And he offered burnt offerings on the altar. These were animals that was burnt. So when you setting something on fire, he offered these things to the Most High. Every time you set something on fire, you are making an offering to a God. That's what it's for. The smoke is supposed to reach up into heaven in theory. It's spiritual, of course. The Lord don't need your smoke. He don't need the fire that he's burning, but it's spiritual. It's a sacrifice. Give me Exodus chapter 29 and 18. That right there was a sacrifice, right? Now let's see about the incense that I was talking about. Nobody got it? Let's get it. Nice and strong.
Exodus chapter 29, verse 18. And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar.
That's a sacrifice.
It is a burnt offering
Go ahead.
unto the Most High. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Most High.
This is an offering made by fire unto the Most High. This is Israelites burning stuff. This is how what we supposed to be burning, right? Something that's going to go up to an hour. It's a sweet smelling savor to the Lord, right? Now that's more of the sacrifice. I was trying to get to the go right over to the next page. I believe it's the next page. Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. Let me get that real quick. Trooper Yamayan, let's get it.
Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning.
And Aaron, who was the priest, shall burn what?
Thereon sweet incense every morning.
He shall burn these incense every morning. What happens when you burn incense? What happens?
It's like,
Go ahead.
sends up a sweet smell.
It's smoke, right? You get smoke from it. Has anybody ever stood over the incense and inhaled the smoke that comes from the incense? Don't lie, you did it before. Salaki.
I'm sorry, Salaki, you meant like purposely?
Yeah,
Oh, no. I thought you just meant I
accidentally.
No.
You accidentally did it, right?
Come on, sir.
Okay, why wouldn't you stand over it and purposely inhale the smoke coming from the incense?
Because it's not something to do.
So why is inhaling the smoke that comes from any other thing the thing to do? That's not to you. That's just in general. You could go ahead and put your phone back on mute. Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. Read it.
Exodus chapter 30, verse 7. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning.
Mm-hmm.
When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it.
Keep going.
Verse 8. And when Aaron lighteth the lamps at even, he shall burn incense upon it, and perpetual incense before the Most High throughout your generations.
Here we go, right here. This was my point why I asked that question. Read it, verse 9.
Ye shall offer no strange incense thereon.
You shall what?
Offer no strange incense thereon.
There are certain things you're supposed to burn in order to praise the Most High, in order to make an offering to the Most High. But you shall not burn strange incense thereon. Just like there are certain things that you could sacrifice, certain animals you could sacrifice, there are also certain herbs and certain plants that you can burn for incense as well. Certain things are not to be set on fire. Go ahead.
Nor a burnt sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
Nor a meat offering.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall you pour a drink offering thereon.
There's also a drink offering, which is totally different. It's a reason why they call liquor spirits. Right? Y'all follow me, right? Somebody look up entheogen. 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 Google it. Entheogen. Remember, it's just talking about a drink offering, a smoke offering, a meat offering, and sacrifices. This is Israelite culture, y'all. This is what you do. If you're going to light something on fire, let it be done to the glory of the Most High, not so you can get high, not so you can be a drug addict.
Lock it.
Go ahead.
Entheogen, a chemical substance, typically of plant origin, that is ingested to produce a non-ordinary consciousness for religious or spiritual purposes.
Read it again. Read it again, nice and strong, so everybody can hear it.
God on God. Entheogen, a chemical substance, typically of plant origin,
Of plant origin
that is ingested
Okay.
to produce a non-ordinary state.
A non-ordinary state. Right? What's wrong with it? Hold on. What's wrong with an ordinary state? Let me tell you what's wrong with an ordinary state. We got issues. We in hell. We got to go and work and serve up under another nation. We got to hear a loudmouth woman yelling at us. We got a dude that don't give a damn about us at the crib. The kids failing. We ain't got money for the rent. Oh my God, Christmas coming up. We in hell. We don't want to be in an ordinary state because we are trying to fight against dealing with this hell that the Lord put us in for not serving him. So rather than to change our life and to serve the Lord, we would rather go into this non-ordinary state to try to soothe the pain that we're going through for not dealing with it. Well, how about we wake up and be like, you know what? We deserve this hell. We did everything the Lord told us not to do. We went against his laws over and over and over again. We served ourselves our whole life. Our whole life. We too good to feel pain. An entheogen, right? Let me tell you what I got. Any psychoactive substance that induces spiritual experience aimed at spiritual development. Read the one you got, Keith. Read it again.
I don't concert from the top.
Yeah, start from the top.
A chemical substance, typically of plant origin, that is ingested to produce a non-ordinary state of consciousness.
Oh, I thought I went up. Nigga, when I was a Rasta, I thought I was so conscious. I remember telling my people, and Salakia, y'all, I got to rant on this. Y'all don't understand. Like, people come in here with problems. People have issues, right? This was one of mine. I can talk about it now because I never smoke weed again. But anyways, I remember talking to my people like, you know, when I smoke weed, I get closer to God. Anybody ever heard something like that? Go ahead. You say you said it? You say you used to say it. Oh, so I wasn't the only fool saying that. Oh, somebody, y'all used to say that too? All right, Most High Christ. I thought I was the only idiot saying that. Y'all all right, Most High Christ. Listen, the point I'm trying to bring out is the reason why it's such a hard time is because it is a demon. It is a religion. It is a religious thing to go into a fake, non-ordinary state of consciousness. It allows you to escape the reality and the ordinary, right? This is a demon we have to fight, brothers and sisters. We got to fight it. The reason why is because it's looked at in the world just like being gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. It's just a choice. You say the same thing about weed, cigarettes, and everything else. But everybody knows smoking crack is wrong. Well, why is lighting that on fire and inhaling it wrong, and lighting this on fire and inhaling it not? Let me get to the other part about it because I'm running out of time. The religious, shamanistic, or spiritual significance of entheogen is well established in anthropological and modern contexts. Entheogens have traditionally been used to supplement many diverse practices geared towards achieving transcendence, including sensory deprivation, divination, meditation, yoga, prayer, trance, chanting, hymns, payot, what does that say? And drumming. If you go down to it, it'll continue. Now give me Jeremiah 44:17. Here's
Yes,
the,
sir.
go ahead.
I didn't catch, my phone broke up when you was spelling it out. Could you spell it out for me one more time for me, if you don't mind?
ENTHEOGEN. If anybody know anything about root words, theo, like theos, has something to do with God or religion or whatever the case may be. All right. But anyways, the point is people smoke as a way to get to a false existence, to serve other gods, different things like that. So let's talk about it. In the Bible, it's called incense because that's what burning of plants are. Somebody got Jeremiah 44:17? Let's go, Yamayan. Jeremiah 44:17.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 17. We will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
So these some old Israelites, some hard-headed Israelites, and they don't want to listen to the Most High. They say we're gonna do whatever we say we're gonna do. We will do certainly what goes out of our own mouth. Go ahead.
Come. To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. The Queen of Heaven. You have to Google that on your own time. I ain't got time really to go through it. But Ashtar would be considered that. They also, in some religions, say that God has a wife, whatever the case may be. All right, so you can go into that. But this is what the Israelites was doing. And they doing the same thing, burning incense to the Queen of Heaven, burning incense to other gods right now today. Even if you make yourself that God, it's still wrong. It's still a sin. It's still not supposed to be done. But let's go back to when Israel did it. And they was told not to do it. This is what we're reading about now. They say, no, we're going to do it. We're going to burn it and keep going.
Come. And to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. We and our fathers, our kings, and our princes.
Everybody we know smoke weed. Our fathers, our kings, Bill Clinton, princes, everybody. It's like it ain't even a problem. But the problem is it's going to take the fight out of you as an Israelite to come back and do what the hell need to be done to raise up this nation. That's the problem. The opioid epidemic has destroyed the white man, thanks to the Most High and Yahushua. They getting higher than us. Because at one point, it was really on us. And instead of looking at it like these people had a problem that they need to deal with, the white man was looking at it like they junkies and they this. Now they're the junkies, right? So what we're doing here in the ISUPK is we trying to make sure and point out the fact that our brothers and sisters need to come back from trying to escape the reality of this hell that the Lord put us in and embrace it. Because that'll cause us to walk straight to get it together. But these Israelites right here was like, nah, we're going to go ahead and do it because our fathers and our mothers did it. Keep going.
Come. In the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
They was in the cities of Judah and Jerusalem. This is the Lord's land he gave us. They in there burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. Keep going now.
Come. But then had we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil.
And they say, well, when we was burning these incense to the Queen of Heaven, everything was good. We had plenty to eat and we ain't see nothing bad happening. That's how my dumb ass, Salakia, that's how I was. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing gonna be all right. Me and my Bob Marley music, everything else. So simple out. Keep going out. Verse 18.
Verse 18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven.
Since we stopped smoking, go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things. and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine.
Let me tell you something. The sword and the famine and all of this was going on the whole time they was burning these incense to the Queen of Heaven. They was just too high to realize it. The hell that our people is going through and the destruction is going to be there. Now, you can sit through it and be high if you want to, or you can get in this body and help us wake up these lost tribes and serve the Lord and serve his people. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Go to the next one. Keep going.
Verse 19. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men?
Go ahead.
Then Jeremiah said unto all the people,
this is what a man of God comes back and say. Go ahead.
To the men and to the women and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Most High remember them, and came it not into his mind.
That's right. The Most High knew what you was doing every time. Every time you decided to do it, you ain't think nobody ain't do it. The Lord see what you doing. He see whether you serving him. Go ahead to the next one.
So that the Most High can no longer bear because of the evil of your doings and because of the abominations which ye have committed.
25. Drop down to 25. Salakia.
Verse 25. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her. You will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. Therefore, ye, the word of the Most High, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt, behold, I have sworn by great names, saith the Most High, that the name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in the land of Egypt, saying, the Most High power liveth.
Stop right there. The Lord took his name out of the Israelites' mouth because he knew what they was doing. In other words, we ain't had no relationship with him no more because we wanted to burn incense to other gods. Right? Go ahead to the next one.
Verse 28. Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return.
No, verse 27.
27. Verse 27. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them.
So here's the point. You not even knowing what you're doing. Just like we didn't know that we were serving other gods by following Christmas, and Mother's Day was serving Leah. What was the Greek goddesses that they served for Mother's Day, and New Year's was Janus, the Greek god Janus, and Christmas was Nimrod, and all of these different God, they wrapped them up, and we thought we was doing something right. I thought I was doing something righteous. Herb is the healing of the nation. It was found on the grave of King Solomon. This is all the foolishness I was quoting, just so y'all know. I don't believe this.
It was put here for you and me.
It was put here for you and me. We destroyed that in the first thing. Listen, we didn't even know we were serving other gods. Well, that's why you coming into the truth. The Lord is going to wake you up so you know some of the smallest things you do, you are pissing the Lord off, right? This is one of them. Give me Psalms chapter 37, verse 19. The Lord said because of what we was doing, burning incense to other gods and things of that nature, he was now going to watch over Israel for evil and not for good. Why you think we getting shot down in the street? Why you think we the first fired and the last hired? Why you think we waiting around for income tax so we can go buy more weed? You ain't gonna come up with it. You ain't gonna do nothing to help your nation. You ain't gonna do nothing to better your situation. You're just gonna go get hired. Somebody got it? Let's go. They finna kick us out of the library in about 10 minutes.
37, verse 19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Most High shall be as the fat of lambs.
Shall be as the fat of lambs, meaning you are going into thermonuclear warfare. You are going to be burnt like the fat of lambs. Go ahead.
They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away.
So while you're sitting there smoking, the whole earth is going to go up in smoke, and you'll be right along with it. Separate yourself from America and its fascination with weed and all of this. Oh, it's about to be legal now. So all the little niggas, all the little cats in the hood with nicks and dimes and pounds and all of that, the government is taking your trap. Proverbs chapter 16. Let's get it. Verse 27. I don't know if y'all know the point of us going over this is, but I'm going over it anyway. If y'all have any questions on the topic, please ask.
Sir.
Nobody got it? You got a question, sis?
Yes, on topic.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Give me Proverbs 16 and 27, Yamayan.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
What kind of man?
An ungodly man.
An ungodly man, meaning he don't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. He ain't trying to live right. All he trying to do is serve himself. He's a carnal man, and he digging up evil. What is he digging up? He digging up plants out the ground.
And in his lips there is a burning fire.
And in his lips is a burning fire. This is twofold. One thing is with the speech that you coming with, you are not speaking the oracles of God. You're speaking what you want. But literally, in his lips, when he digging up this evil, is a burning fire. That's that blunt you got in your mouth right now. You the one who's sitting at home without the all black on. Salakia, I know none of y'all don't smoke no weed. I'm just tripping. Go ahead, sis, with your question.
Even if it's not intentional, but I do know I'm gonna be at a place or around people that smoke weed. Will it still be the same as if I'm smoking it myself? As far as secondhand smoke?
Do not smoke weed, sis. You cannot listen. I work at my slavery. It's a chick from Colorado or from Denver, right? The whole city smell like weed. When they legalize it, here is going to be the same way. You're not going to, just like you can't go nowhere and nobody's smoking a cigarette or a Black and Mild or whatever the case may be. It's going to be the same way with weed. Now, the scriptures say, put off the appearance of evil. Let your good not be evil spoken of. You done changed your life. You came into the truth. You don't smoke weed. What you should probably do is try to separate yourself as much as possible from situations like that. But as like when the brothers come down for the cookout and all of that, we go out, the whole club high and popping pills and smoking weed. We ain't smoking. We might come out of there smelling like smoke, but we ain't hitting nothing. Just make sure you can control yourself. And if you don't have to be in a situation like that, don't. But if you end up in a situation like that, just make sure, you know what I'm saying, you got it under control. Now, you can catch contacts and all of that kind of stuff. But the key is for you to make the decision that you're not going to get high. You can't control what other people around you are doing. All right. Now, if you can't, you can't control. Go ahead.
I got high on secondhand smoke.
Stop going to the club, sis. Stop going to the house where they at. You know what I'm saying? Get out the car when they smoking. Whatever you got to do, just make sure you keep your temple as clean as possible. All right? All right, Most High Christ. Let's see. I'm running out of time. I got a lot more to go. I could go through Hinduism. I can go through Rastafarianism. I can go through Revelation chapter 22, where it talks about the healing of the nation, right? That's one of the things that we dealt with. And when I came out of Rastafarian, like the herb is the healing of the nation, right? Somebody just quickly, so I don't have to go through this. What is the healing of the nation? What is the healing of the nation of Israel? Somebody tell me that.
Slack.
Not the other one.
Go ahead.
Following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right. But who is the healer? What is the healer? Is the healer weed? Give me Jeremiah 33 and 6. What is the healer? In the meantime, while they get me Jeremiah 33 and 6, what I want everybody to know, we're going to take a break coming up probably about 7:55. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to be exclusively on the phone line. The number is 305-985-5453. 305-985-5453. So anybody that's on the YouTube, you have any questions, I'm going to be taking all the questions. We'll be done with this in about the next 10 minutes, and we'll be out of the library. Go ahead. Give me the scripture.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 6.
Yep.
Behold,
Behold,
I will bring it health and cure.
I will bring it health and cure. Who is this I? I is the Most High. Keep going.
Come. And I will cure them.
And I will cure them.
And will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth.
Oh, so the weed don't give you peace.
Wow.
The weed don't help you see the truth. The Lord said he is going to reveal to us the abundance of peace and truth. He is going to heal us. Not no damn weed. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16.
Correct.
What we teaching the truth is weed is just like any other drug. If you need it for something, you can use it, but you cannot smoke it. If you use it and you don't need it, then now you are abusing a drug and therefore a drug addict, therefore a junkie. Y'all follow me? All right, what's your question, Doc?
Okay.
What's your question, Doc?
Two questions.
Go ahead.
Like, if I could, what was those last two scriptures?
Revelation 22 and 2, where it talks about the healing of the nation. Jeremiah chapter 33 and 6, where the Lord said he is the cure. I believe those were the last two scriptures.
Jeremiah 32 and 6.
33 and 6. The next time some go back to Africa, Rastafarian tells you herb is the healing of the nation, here's the cold cut. Give it to me, Yama. Tell them where you at.
Never gave you a chapter. Maybe Wisdom of Solomon.
16 and 12.
16, 12. Come on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12. For it was neither herb.
It was neither what?
Herb.
It was neither herb. Go ahead.
Nor mollifying plaster.
Not anything else. Go ahead.
That restored them to health.
It was not the herbs that restored them to health,
but thy word.
But the word of the Most High.
O Most High, which healeth all things.
Oh God, which healeth all things. You want to be healed? Stop trusting in a plant. Stop trusting in anything else but the Most High. You want to be fixed? Stop burning incense to other gods. We burn incense in the schools when we do our Sabbath services and different things like that. That's the only smoke you're going to see coming up out of me, around me. All right? I got a whole breakdown on the physician where the Lord is the healer. He's doing the healing. The herb ain't doing nothing, but the herb is used as a tool, no different than any other vitamin, mineral, or anything else that you put in that the Lord has given to us for healing purposes. Don't be a junkie and use it just to get high. Ain't nobody smoking no weed for seizures, for what they call it, schizophrenia and all of that. These just wake up and smoking to get high. They ain't using it for what the Lord put it on. It's no different than taking advantage of a righteous woman the Lord put and you using it for something bad when the Lord put it here for something good. Bottom line, don't be a damn junkie. Don't be a weed head. If you are a weed head, you're in the right place to get fixed. Because I was a weed head when I came in the truth. Go ahead, Op. Go ahead, Op. Trey, you had a question?
I'm more like a comment.
Go ahead.
It was just about Esau.
What about Esau?
Giving me herbal. herbal THC, like you were saying, is meat. It can be for healing, but not to be smoked.
Absolutely. And if it's prescribed to you by a doctor, don't smoke it. Everybody heard that, right? No, y'all. I know y'all got y'all prescriptions ready. Like, hey, Salakia General, I got a prescription prescribed by a doctor. Don't smoke nothing ever again if you can help it. If you need some help, you know what I'm saying, bring it. Be honest with the men above you. Seek counsel, and they'll help you stop smoking. I had an issue. I was a trooper. I had a Hebrew name and all, nigga. I could not stop smoking now. The Lord all of a sudden put his spirit on me, and I realized, the fear of the Lord told me I was going to die the next time I smoked. I ain't never smoked again. Salakia. Everybody don't get it at the same time. I just wanted y'all to have the scriptures on it. Smoking weed is worshiping other gods. It's burning incense to other gods. If I went to the breakdown of Hinduism and Rastafarian, look it up on Wikipedia, it'll tell you that they use these things in order to serve their god. All right? The god Shiva or Shiva, however you want to pronounce it. You can look it up, Google it, get back to me. Nothing's going to heal this nation but the word of the Most High. It's not going to be healed through the power of the almighty marijuana. Anybody got any questions on topic? Once again, on YouTube, we're going to go into, I'm going to answer questions off topic for the next hour. If you on YouTube, you got a question, call in 305-985-5453. We're gonna clip the YouTube, and we're gonna take a break, and I'm gonna answer questions. Go ahead, Doc.
Sorry, one more time. I didn't catch the list. I'm on the road.
So how you gonna write it down?
I'm speaking into my phone.
Go ahead, you got it.
Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12. Hey, everybody don't get that one. You got to be the choice few people that chose to come into this class tonight to get that scripture right there. Had to get that directly from the general. So like, all right, man. Everybody else, man, y'all try to find some questions within the next 5 minutes so we can keep the class. If not, then we'll clip the class. But if y'all have any other questions that was on or off topic, I'll answer them in 5 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to transport everything up out of these people's library, and then I'll come back on the line, all right? In the meantime, who's the highest ranking officer? Is that Nashak? Nashak, you on? All right, Nashak not on. Sharatazai? Sharatazai, you on?
I'm driving. I'm still at the Savory.
No sweat. Itazab, you on? You driving too, huh? Is there an officer? Is there an officer on the line who is not driving? All right. No sweat. This is what I do. I open the line up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all officers that are on the line, make sure ain't nobody saying nothing they don't need to. Anybody got something they want to add to what we was just talking about, y'all go ahead and do that. In the meantime, we'll keep the class going. YouTube, shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Barakatah. To the sisters, to the brothers and to the sisters, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Ba'Hashem Yahushua. You don't know what that means, Google it. Or stay to the end of the class or call in 305-985-5453.
I put in the chat.